Rare hen's teeth. I had to pay resale to get my hands on these, but am I happy I did? Today I'm going to run over my review and wear test of the Nike SB Low Pros. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're going well today. Today, it's meant to be summer in Melbourne, but it is dark, doomy, very gloomy, about to piss down with rain. And today, like I mentioned, I'm going over my review and wear test of the SB Dunk Low Pros that I've been skating or was skating for around a month, and maybe it was 5 to 6 weeks. I'm not sure. And it was in the Barcelona colourway, which to me is pretty clean. It's something different because they'll mismatch. Like one shoe was opposite of the other. So today we're talking about what almost could be classified as a unicorn, really, in the skateboarding shoe community. I guess you could say that. Because like the SB Dunk Low Pros are really hard to get your hands onto, hence rarest hen's teeth. And if you actually know what that saying means, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section and say hi while you're there. And actually while you're there, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already. It's greatly appreciated. Helps the channel out grow, especially if you're interested in more reviews and whatnot, really. So, like I mentioned, these are really hard to get your hands onto. Really the only way you can get your hands on these is by raffles or paying resale. And I ended up paying resale. I paid $50 extra than the retail, so not too bad in the end, because some of them can go up to 100 to 500 more than retail. So an extra 50 bucks, not too bad about that. No, not too unhappy about that, actually. Onto the shoe itself. The shoe was suede all over, which is just perfect. Like I said, this colorway was suede all over on the upper, apart from the swoosh, which is leather. This colorway itself is mirrored, so you have two different shoes, which I don't mind personally. They are a low shoe, but on the higher end of a low shoe, providing quite a lot of ankle stability, along with quite a lot of padding around that area as well, especially that heel area, and it's got a really thick boy tongue as well. They may feel that little bit bulky around the ankle, especially if you're coming from a vault. But personally, I welcome that extra cushioning and support around the ankle, especially that Achilles lock as well. It just makes your ankle and Achilles all fit nice and snug in that shoe. The shoes are a cup sole as well, which leads to pretty solid impact protection in my opinion. This also could be due to the Zoom Air unit that they chuck in the shoe. I jumped down to force air a few times and a couple of hovers, and my feet were pretty good from this. And landing primo, never really had an issue there as well. Fit wise, these were maybe a little bit odd. I'm size 11 in most things. I got size 11 in the Force 58s, and they fit pretty well. Really, in hindsight, for SB Dunk, I would get a 10.5 because it just there's the 11s leave that little bit of wiggle room down in the end of my toe, and as you can see here, because of the extra room, it sort of starts to fold over on itself a little bit. So that's I don't know if that's just the shoe in general, or is that just because the shoe is that little bit longer. But this is the first time I've encountered this in any of the shoes that I've skated. And to touch on width, most people want to know the width of the shoe, and I always want to know the width of the shoe. They are that little bit wider fitting shoe, so it's perfect for someone with a wide foot like myself. I do find this a very comfortable shoe, and it's a very comfortable shoe just to wear around every day as well. So they are a quite wide fitting shoe. Almost go down half a size, or if your true size is 10.5, get that true size. The durability of the shoe, where should we start? The top or the bottom? Top, you say? Alright, so the upper is all suede all around. It's pretty sturdy there, but the stitches do start to rip a little bit earlier than usual, or earlier than I'd personally like. But I end up just dabbing a little bit of shoe glue on there in the end. From memory, it took around 3 weeks to get all the way through the suede to a hole that I had to actually shoe glue again. So this shoe will need a bit of shoe gluing like most shoes, but straight out of the box, you probably don't need to do any shoe gluing, or I don't like doing any shoe gluing straight out of the box because, like I always say in all my reviews and my opinions on things like that, is a good shoe should never need shoe glue out of the product. And that's why some of the worst shoes that I've skated, like the S shoes, they lasted 3 hours before being opened up on the side. So really, if a shoe does that, I don't know how pros are skating those shoes. After that 3 weeks of getting all the way through the suede, you are met by a black liner though, so there is that a little bit more a little bit more protection for your foot and your toes there, so you don't go straight to your sock and rip that straight away. So that is a positive on that, because that also allows you to something for the shoe glue to grab to when you do go to patch it up as well. The heel area is nice. It's nice and thick. It's good for heel flips. Durability wise, it's pretty much new. I haven't had much wear on the heel area around here, which is quite good. And like I mentioned, that extra padding is really good actually for connecting with your heel flips. And I'm not too surprised, or not unsurprised. I don't know if that's a word, but I haven't ripped any laces in these shoes, which is honestly, I didn't think I really would have. They're nice thick SB laces. They're not the thin shitty ones that they come with the SB Forces. So I wouldn't need to go be changing laces out. This colorway though also, and like a lot of SB Pro models, like make sure if you're getting Dunks, get the Pro model, because there's a difference between SB Dunks and SB Pros. I maybe make a video on that. Like if you'd like to see that, make sure to leave a comment on it. But there is a difference, and one of the difference is the laces. The laces are a lot thicker, and in this colorway you actually get 3 different sets of laces. So like even if you do rip your laces, which I don't think you will, you can change them out quite easily with like the extra ones. There is actually also a hidden lace protector feature in the bottom of the shoe here, but I haven't gone around and bothered to use it because 1, I like the way it is now, as in looks wise, and 2, that I'm lazy. And as I'm looking at this shoe, this is my switch shoe, and you can see there's actually a little bit of wear there. So I've been doing a bit of switch work, a bit of nollie work, trying to work on that aspect of my game too. So both shoes have got that nice wear on them. Both shoes are holding up really well. But now let's talk about the tread. The tread has been not too bad. They're pretty good, not as good as Adidas. So that Adidas, even though those Tyshons, the side and the leather is absolute junk, I'll give it to them though. Their shoelaces, and really mainly the sole of their shoe, is probably the best durability sole of shoe I've skated in the 15 pairs of shoes that I've had. After five weeks of skating, possibly 6, you can sort of see that I'm really getting quite down to the sole of the on the shoe on my big toe. It's starting to change color. Look, if you're desperate, you could probably run another week or 2 or even longer out of that. But I can start feeling my toe through it a little bit more, and I can feel how it changes the feel of the board. Overall, the board feel with these shoes is probably a medium. It's a cup sole, remember, so you're not going to get amazing board feel, but you will get that better impact protection, which personally, I do like that impact protection for just landing primo or just falling and stuff like that. So it is they are grippy when you need it, but towards that 4 weeks onwards, I find that the grip is starting to slip unless you start riding new decks. If you start riding new decks, this wear in this first little area up here, that's gonna get chewed up even more, and that's a bit of an issue to me, in my opinion. For me anyway, I just don't like the way that feels, because I can actually feel it as I walk that there's a change in the sole of the shoe. So how did they skate? For me, they skated pretty well. The flick might be a little bit different, a little bit harder to get used to, especially with that square toe box. But after you do get used to it, you can get a pretty consistent flick. I found that it didn't really change over time. So once you get used to it, it's going to be there and you'll know how to flick. One of the things that I really did enjoy on this is the heel flick. I really enjoyed how it connected, just the way it felt. I felt sometimes even the heel flips flicked quicker for some reason. I don't know if that was just me and the deck that I was riding, but even just flipping my normal heel flip or trying to vary a heel flip, I just felt like it really connected well, because there is a lot more area around the higher of your ankle, but that also depends on the way you heel flip. Depends if you heel flip more of your toe area of your shoe or your heel area of the shoe, because like skateboarding, everything and everyone does it that little bit differently. Something that I actually thought that would affect me with the shoe is actually the bulkiness of it, especially when you first put it on, you're like, this is a pretty bulky shoe, but you do get used to it and it didn't really affect me or bother me at all in the end. With the bulkiness, it doesn't really mean that they're much heavier or anything like that. I personally actually found the Vans half cabs and the Van Rowan Pros, 2 Vans, are actually both heavier than the SB Dunks there. So weight wise, it doesn't really reflect in the way of bulkiness. Like I mentioned and probably touched on a few times, I really welcome that extra heel protection and that Achilles lock as well. I think a lot of shoes that I've actually been seeing lately actually do have that Achilles lock, but the SB Dunk is quite pronounced, And personally, I quite enjoy that. Like I may have mentioned, and my feet never really hurt in these shoes, especially landing off things or landing, jumping down things like that, or landing primo as well. Like, they are a cup sole, they have really good impact protection, though the flip side of that is like that they're a really stiff shoe to start with. So they do need a little bit of breaking in, but after they do break in, like they do flex a bit. The heel is always going to be quite stiff, but compared to like the SB Force 58 sitting down behind you guys, they are still stiff as a board, and they have been skated for about 4 to 5 weeks as well, and or the same length of these SB Dunks, and they are stiff as a board. Though after all that rabble, hopefully it made some sense. Would I tell you to go hunt down a pair of Dunks and skate them? And personally, I would say yes, because I would skate them again if I could pick up some more at retail, because at retail they're only 106. Back on the Dunks though, like maybe my consistency wasn't 100% there, especially with my kickflip. But I did like change my deck like 3 times during this wearing these shoes, so maybe that had something to do with it. But I had a high confidence in these shoes. I was like really confident to jump down things and try new things and stuff like that, because I wasn't worried about my feet getting hurt or my ankle rolling like that, because they're a low, but they're like a mid-low, because they like really have that really solid ankle protection. Not sure if you can hear that, but it's just about to start really teaming down. So we're going to wrap this up. The Dunks, I really enjoy the way they skated. They look really nice. Like the Dunks do look really nice. I do enjoy that way. So if you can really hunt them down, personally, go get them. Like they skate well, they look good, they're durable. They're just a solid shoe overall. And if you've skated Dunks in the past or you are skating Dunks now, let me know down in the comments. Let me know if you've actually enjoyed them and stuff like that. Make sure to hit the like button on the video if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in a new video soon. Peace.